GPT, everybody's favorite text generation model, is not very creative. It kind of sucks at that. You ask it, like, can you come up with just a great idea for like a playlist album cover? Can you come up with a great idea for, an image for a thumbnail for this video, that sort of thing? It will always give you something that is just too generic. Like, it just doesn't really do that well at coming up with creative ideas. And there's a reason for this. It's a text generation model. All it does, one at a time, it tries to predict what the next word is going to be. Gives it a probability, and then it chooses one. And that does not really lead to creativity because it is meant to lead towards predictability. It wants to find what the next word is going to be for sure. And that's the reason why it's so good, is because after the word for, you might get for I in range 5 or something like that. And it knows what the next word is probably going to be, and so it's probably going to give you the right answers when you ask for facts and knowledge and that sort of thing, and code and everything like that. And it works really well for that. It does not work very well for creativity, which can be super detrimental. I'm going to show you today one technique that I use in order to maximize the creativity out of my GPT shenanigans and whatever. It's going to be fantastic. So over here I have a little bit of code, and I have a little bit of a front end, nice for image generation. I haven't actually come up with a thumbnail yet, so I've decided to paste this in. I want it to come up with a thumbnail for a video called How to Make GPT More Creative. Include that text in the image. And the way that I get it to be more creative, and I'll show you in my code here, let me just swap on over. I'll show you my code here, is that I use structured outputs and I generate a list of ideas first. So the structure that I'm getting out of here is going to have some initial thoughts, which I usually just throw away. You don't need it. And then I'm going to get a list of strings. Each of these are going to be their own separate idea. And so as I go through and I generate this object, I've asked it, in ideas, generate 20 different image description ideas. Now it has come through. It has gotten me all those ideas. So now it's got a bunch of different ideas. And the reason this works is because if you were to ask ChatGPT in 14 different separate conversations for a good idea, it's going to come up with its best one first. And it's always going to come up with its most likely one, its best one first. And so since it doesn't have that knowledge and recognition that it already said this idea in another conversation, it's always just going to come up with the same ideas. Maybe it'll do 2 different ideas, 3 different ideas, but you'll find that it has so many repeats. Instead, it will, here we can generate all the different ideas all at once. You have 20 different ideas. I guess this only came up with 19, but it's not super great at following instructions. But now we've got a bunch of different unique ideas, and since they all have to be so different, you have 20 of them, they all have to be super, super different. Then once you finally actually pick an idea, it's actually going to be creative. And if we flip back over to the other screen here, it's going to, boom. Now we've got creative ideas. Look at all those gears. How to make GPT more creative. Cool. We can do this again. And this is absolutely fascinating. It will come up with different ideas every single time, which is wonderful. And they are firm and specific ideas, which is the other thing too. It's not just going to come up with light little ideas. It's going to come up with big ideas. One place I used this that I was particularly fond of was Inspire Nails. This is a side project I made to generate nail ideas. When I started off, I would just ask it to make ideas, and I would say pick a Pokemon and generate based off that Pokemon. Almost always it would generate Pikachu, Bulbasaur, or Charmander, or Squirtle, or one of those very, very, not to call them basic, they are very nice Pokemon, but obviously everybody picks them, right? They are the basic bread and butter Pokemon idea for nails. But now, and I'm crossing my fingers that this doesn't choose Pikachu, because if it does, I'm gonna regret everything. But now it's going to generate 20 ideas. Chances are it's going to pick 20 different Pokemon. As you can see, it picked Charizard, another semi-basic Pokemon, but it got a good one. and it's going to come up with some fantastic ideas. Now, if we go over here, we can continue generating these how GPT to make GPT more creative. They're not always going to be the best images, of course, but as you can see, these are all different ideas. Each row is going to be a different set of ideas. How to make GPT more creative. How to make GPT more creative. Beautiful. So now we have a bunch of thumbnails, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought it was interesting. I've been using it for a long time. I'm a creator of Typestia. I'm a creative of Inspire Nails. Go check those out if you have a chance. It's really fun. But also follow the YouTube channel and stuff like that. And use this. It's smart. It's really cool. Yeah, I think that's it. See ya.